I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. What you wanna go play yourself? I'ma keep. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go.
Squeeze this muffin.
You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, them C's doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is all. The throne is mine, take that. They got 105, got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they been asking me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who is the best, they get this to stuttering. Tell them
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose.
You're watching the OSEA Rocket League week number 2. Thanks for joining us and welcome. My name is Nate Goes Live, joined by Rage Quit Andy. This evening in the broadcast booth, we're going to bring you a couple matches. Last week, our first week. Great to kick off the spring season. Just a few minutes out from the first match of the night, so let's take a look at it. Very first two teams we're going to be featuring are the Golden Bears playing against the Panthers. And second match of the night will also feature the Panthers. As our second match of the night, we're going to watch the Emerald Bears. Neither of the Bears teams were able to play last week, so we're hoping to catch up with them. And then ending it off with a really good match. Our third matchup tonight will be Bay Ridge Blazers versus the OCVI Redhawks. Looking forward to that one. So in the meanwhile, click that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the OSEA YouTube channel so you can catch future broadcasts. In the meanwhile, we're on standby. Andy and I are going to jump into the first match, the Golden Bears versus the Panthers. Grab your favorite snack, get ready, as we're starting week 2. We'll be right back with you, taking a standby. Well, here we go, our first match of the night. The Golden Bears in blue and the Panthers in orange. Thanks for joining us here. As the first one goes off the crossbar. Jorf looking to rebound, couldn't make it happen. OSEA almost getting an early goal here. As we get immediate pressure from the Golden Bears as expected. This is our first time looking at the Golden Bears this season, Andy.
Yeah, and true to form, they're coming out flying. I believe they won the last season here. So looking forward to seeing what they can put together here. As Farah Fibonacci gets this one out of their end, passes over to Brody. Oakski interrupts that play, but W. Aiden puts a defensive shot from mid-court in. We got a first goal of the game.
So here's the chip off the wall. Jorf almost getting the block, but Aiden with the perfect angle off the crossbar, down and in. 1 point to the Panthers. This will be a great matchup by the looks of it. Kickoff now. You've got Oaksie beaten by Brody and Brooke, who's now working the corner. Great little chip, setting up for a pass that's off the back wall, cleared away by Oaksie. That play looked dangerous for a second. Here's a setup off one crossbar, dug out. What a save by Brody and Brooke. As the tying goal just missed, here's another dangerous setup in front, and Oaksie couldn't make another one happen, but it almost did.
Yeah, unfortunate for Brody and Brooke here. Just couldn't get to the angle on this ball. Made a valiant effort, but just like that, we've got a 1-1 game. And just a minute into this first match. And here we are with the next all-important kickoff. Farah getting a little bit better of that one, but Jorf coming in hot. Not able to get around Aiden, who sends that back to the midfield. No boost in that tank, but Brody and Brooke chipping one towards the net. Oakski's up, trying to play this to a teammate. Oakski and Jorf trying to pinch one off there, but Aiden comes to the rescue at midfield. Farah pops one up. Aiden not able to get that, but Farah gets a nice little chip, but Space Kangaroo comes in and tries to get something off the backboard.
Everybody looking pretty fresh here. They're feeling each other out. Here's a midfield chip. It's coming down. Didn't quite make it and knocked up and away. Farah looking to get a rebound. Sneaks one by for 2 goals.
Wow, what a shot there by Farah. Look at this, 3 defenders blocking essentially the entire bottom of the net. Able to get that one by for a 2-1 game. Here we go with that next kickoff. Let's see what happens here. Jorf going up against Aiden. Brody trying to get that, but Space Kangaroo beating them to the ball. Back in the corner, trying to pass something out front. There's Jorf. Takes a nice little bounce in front of the opponent's net. And we're tied 2-2. Looking like this one's going to be a pretty good game, Nate.
Yeah, this is awesome. 2 minutes in, 4 goals in already. And that one bounced up quick. Nobody able to jump up and save it. A kickoff now. Oh, a fake by Farah. It's headed back in. Oaksie into a Rule 1 with Brody and Brooke. Both players honoring the Rule 1. Great to see, great sportsmanship here. Up off the side wall, floating dangerously. Jorf's going to clear it away. Heads up with it. Lots of boost in the tank. Almost able to work that flip reset. Nothing came of it. Jorf back in their own corner now, chipping away. And a handoff to Space Kangaroo, who's fighting with Aiden. Aiden setting themselves off the back wall. Decides not to go for it as Jorf now heading downfield. Off the side wall, Jorf sees a teammate midfield. Space Kangaroo there. That was knocked up high, and no more players from the Bears there to clear it, to try to take a shot. Rule 1 still going, Andy.
I think that might be the first Rule 1 we've seen on the broadcast since we started streaming these games for Canada Esports and OSEA. Pretty exciting to see.
Certainly that long of a Rule 1.
You got to respect the respect they have for the game. Those 2 competitors battling it out in that Rule 1. Aiden makes a nice save, but Jorf keeps that resounding pressure on. And the Golden Bears take a 1-goal lead with just under 2 minutes here to play. Long time between goals there. It was nice to see the back and forth between these 2 teams. Some excellent Rocket League starting off for us today. There's Space Kangaroo pushing that one back into the Panthers' end. Looking to pass something out front, and there's Jorf, but a great save by Aiden, and swept away by Brody and Brooke, who now on the attack, trying to get something into the corner. Maybe wisely backs away as they saw Space Kangaroo coming in hot from the goal line. Space Kangaroo trying to get a double tap from themselves. No teammates with them to continue the pressure. So from midfield, Jorf sends one in for Oakski, but that is swept away back to midfield. And Brody and Brooke now putting a shot on goal. Great save by Space Kangaroo. W. Aiden gets a shot over top of Jorf. And we've got a tie game, Nate.
This was a really close one, too. Space Kangaroo able to get that first save. Jorf tried to dig it out. Space Kangaroo came back out of the net. Almost kept that one out. So we got 1:10 on the clock. This is the first game of the night, and what a matchup it's been so far. OSEA and Brody and Brooke meeting again since hanging in that Rule 1 a few minutes ago. Here's a weird bounce. Demo on Farah from OSEA, but no player's able to get a net in. What a great chip that was. It's bouncing dangerously. Didn't find the back of the net. And here's Space Kangaroo now. Cleared away. What a save by Farah. Not safe yet, though, as Aiden tries to bring the ball downfield alone, so Jorf's going to dig it up. Brody and Brooke with a great pass out front, dug away by OSEA. There's Aiden trying to get a shot. It goes wide. OSEA's going to try to clear it away. Nothing came of that either as Jorf knocks it into the corner.
Oh, good clear there by Brody to get that one out of harm's way. A little chip pass there by Oakski, kind of pushed away by Space Kangaroo. Brody and Brooke making that save. This is a high action game for the first of the evening. No rust on these tires. Farah gets a nice challenge on that ball in the midfield line. It looks like we're going to overtime in our first game unless this one goes in. Oh! Just touching the ground in front of the goal. And here we go, Nate, starting off with everything you want.
Yeah, I'll take a 20-minute overtime in the first match of the night. Here's Oakski looking to make some trouble. There's a bouncer. Space Kangaroo wrapping this one up in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, unfortunate we had two defenders go for that ball. Farah and Aiden kind of bumping into each other, making sure both of them couldn't get in position for that ball. What a high-pace, fun game to watch for game number one. Looking forward to the next two.
That was great. Good to see Jorf back in Oakski as well. I don't know if we had Space Kangaroo last season or not, but the Bears are certainly looking strong out there. And the Panthers putting up a great fight, so what a match that was. We're going to see the Panthers play again in our second matchup tonight. And they'll play against the other Bears team, the Emerald Bears. So that's coming up next after two more matches between these two teams as we head into game number 2. Thanks for joining us here on the OSEA YouTube channel. Here we go, kickoff number 2.
And just as a reminder, the teams will play all 3 games no matter how the scores decide them. And teams get points just for showing up. So sometimes that makes or breaks where you're going to get seated when we get to the finals at the end of this month. So just showing up, we've had a couple teams show up with just one person, and they got those all-important points. So good on them. This one, the Panthers come out to a real early lead, a few seconds in. Let's see if they can keep the pressure on. A nice little chip there by Aiden. Aiden lurking for that chip pass from Brody off the sidewall. And Farah sending this one back down. It's going to sail just wide of the net, and Oakski's going to corral that one. But Farah there, trying to get another double tap off a defender. Couple of whiffs there. Farah not able to get up. And here comes Jorf. No boost, so not able to continue this one. Space Kangaroo's going to put a shot on just wide, hitting the post. Here's Jorf trying to pass out to a teammate out front. Space Kangaroo is up, looking for it. Can't beat Brody to that ball, but don't look now. Here's Oakski, hits it off the crossbar and swept away by Farah.
Great positioning by Oakski there, able to pivot and just get their mechanics so they were able to make that shot. Here's a shot. Knocked away by Brody. Jorf wasn't able to make the connection up top, so now we're heading back into the Bears' end. They're going to have to dig it out. OSEA gets around one attacker. Around the second one, but demoed as Jorf takes over control. Couldn't get by Brody and Brook. Now a shot from Space Kangaroo. Didn't make it. OSEA chipping all the way back. It's off the back wall. Follows up their own pass, but OSEA wasn't able to find the back of the net. Great bump there from Aiden, keeping Space Kangaroo from taking a shot. As Farah now tries to chip this one away. Can't get by those Bears, who are sitting at midfield. And Jorf now trying to roll one into the top corner, finds the back of the net.
Wow, kind of an unassuming shot there by Jorf. Great little chip at the midfield to roll that one over top of Aiden, and Farah just not able to get there. Pixel perfect right under the crossbar, any higher, and that's coming out. And we got ourselves a tie game. Here's Jorf and Brody. Brody trying to scoop this one up. Can't beat Oakski, who comes flying across the mouth of the goal for the save. Not credited, but that's a save nonetheless. Jorf trying to put something on. Swept away by Brody. And here's Farah trying to put something on net. But Space Kangaroo is going to send that into the corner for Jorf to corral. And now here come the Golden Bears trying to get something going in the attacking zone.
Yeah, that interruption by OSEA there really threw off the defensive play. And so the Panthers are now scrambling to get out of their own end. There's a quick shot from Jorf. Had to be saved. Jorf with a rebound. Yeah, it all came back to that interruption. There was an interrupted pass, and it sort of threw the Panthers off. Weren't able to get control.
I mean, right there, Aiden's doing everything they can to try and get a second save on that ball. But Jorf has essentially the entire net, so great job, Aiden, making that first save and trying to get into position during that flip. But kind of hard when you've got a player of Jorf's caliber bearing down on your goal. Here's Aiden trying to get something out to a teammate. Kind of bumped away by Oakski. Space Kangaroo's going to miss that one, but no attacking pressure as Jorf comes across, trying to send this one down into the Panthers' end. Farah leaves that for Brody, who tries to get a pass out to a teammate. Nobody there, so Oakski's going to pinch this one off the midfield wall, and Jorf continuing to push that deep into the attacking zone. Blocks it at midfield, gets a pass over to Oakski, just missing that net. Farah's going to corral off the back wall, try and get a pass out to a teammate, but there's Jorf going to double tap it off the back wall, but can't get the touch. Sends it just wide of the goal. And now Aiden's going to just send this one down. Hopefully the Panthers can regroup, get some boost, and go on the offensive here.
Yeah, they needed it. They needed it. I watched Kangaroos scoop up that last bit of boost, but look at them go. Here's Oakski keeping it at midfield. Going to get challenged by Brody, who's got a full tank. Here's Aiden at midfield, coming in hot. Gets by the last defender, but the shot goes wide. And now it's the Panthers scooping up the boost. Midfield, Brody trying to set a teammate up here. Working the corner, gets around. It's out in front. No teammate there in time as Aiden couldn't make the connection. And Kangaroo, look at that. What a fake. I didn't see Jorf coming in, but Kangaroo was lining up a shot, and Jorf made it in even quicker.
Yeah, this is, I mean, really pick your poison there. That side of the left side of the net was completely open. Either of those players were probably not going to miss that shot. 3-1, just over a minute here in the second game. Brody and Brook getting the better of that face-off. Farah gets a nice little chip towards the net, but that's swept away by Oakski, who puts a shot on the opposing net themselves. Aiden trying to get that one over Oakski, but Oakski just keeping that ball in the attacking zone. Space Kangaroo trying to make a pass over to Jorf. Doesn't quite get there. Aiden misses, though, so Jorf's going to put a shot towards the net. Swept away by Farah. Over top of Oakski, who can't get to that one. And now Farah trying to get a pass over to Aiden, and Aiden comes in and makes no mistake. 3-2, 35 seconds. So you're saying there's a chance, Nate?
Yeah, it could happen. Great chip from Farah. Like, look at how they just managed to get around those two defenders. There wasn't much room there, but they found the opportunity. 35 seconds on the clock. Panthers looking for one more. Aiden takes the face off. Jorf waiting to see what happens. Good move. Jorf was ready for that. Chipped all the way across and down by Oakski as a backwalled hit is collected again by Oakski, who couldn't get the shot through. Jorf now chipping off the side wall. Space Kangaroo ready to take the shot, and that's defended by Aiden. And now Brody and Aiden working together to get across that midline. The interruption was missed by Oakski up top, who was trying to make something happen. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Last chance here to keep this ball in the air, and it is. Here's Space Kangaroo, couldn't make the connection, and that'll be another one for the Golden Bears.
Valiant effort there by the Panthers to come back. Just a great defensive effort there by all 3 members of the Golden Bears to keep that surge with 20 seconds left out of their end. What a wonderful first match of the evening to be gracing the OSEA YouTube channel.
That was
here in
action
this
packed.
beautiful spring season. Looking forward to the next game here as our teams are taking the field. And here we go, Jorf and Brody and Brook. Brody and Brook, kind of a face-off savant, getting the better of them every time. And that one almost pinching away from the net as Jorf swoops in to steal this one from Space Kangaroo.
Jorf made it from midfield on that one somehow. Like when the setup went in, Jorf was headed back the other way and somehow got back in time. Look at that face-off chip, goes high. Farah wanted the opportunity, didn't happen. Brody kind of hanging out looking for a rebound. Aiden missing the sidewall hit, but we're still in the Bears' end as the Panthers now are looking to even the score up nice and early and answer back. Oakski's gone up to the ceiling. At midfield, Space Kangaroo not able to make the connection. Jorf keeping it at midfield. Ball now bouncing back to Oakski, who's getting by 2 defenders. Can't get by the third. Space Kangaroo with a beautiful setup. Defended by 2 of the Panthers. Net almost open there for Jorf, but kept out. Here's Oakski now going off the back wall. 2 defenders again from the Panthers on the back wall. Space Kangaroo setting up Jorf with a pinch. What a great double tap by Jorf. Great read there, great mechanics, great play.
I don't think this ball goes in without Space Kangaroo riding up off the wall there. There's a separate touch there that allowed Jorf to get that ball with just enough to sneak under the crossbar. Some great team pressure there by the Golden Bears in the attacking zone. Here's Space Kangaroo trying to put something off the back wall for Jorf, who just misses that shot. And the Golden Bears are doing a really good job when they're in the attacking zone of limiting the Panthers' ability to get those large boost pads. So tough for the Panthers to defend with no boost when you've got 3 attackers swarming in the mouth of your goal. Here's Aiden trying to get something over defense. Puts a shot on goal, just missing wide. But Aiden puts another shot back towards. No teammates swarm in the mouth of the goal to get that rebound. Brody and Brook, just overshooting that one. Sends a ball to the midfield for a teammate, but Jorf's out there demoing people in the opposing goal. Here comes Aiden trying to get something off the sidewall over Jorf. Can't beat him. Brody and Brook trying to get something into the opposing zone as Aiden now has a shot at the wide open goal. Jorf can't get there. 2-1. This game's not over yet.
Yeah, it was a little bit of right place, right time, but a great read by Aiden as that ball was kind of bouncing vertically right from the ceiling straight down, and they read the play beautifully, seeing that open net. Here's a kickoff. Farah sends it to the sidewall. Aiden trying to bounce Oakski around. Couldn't quite do it. And now Space Kangaroo able to avoid any confrontations with Farah up top. Farah now getting down, but just a shot off the post and well collected by Space Kangaroo as the Bears answer back quickly.
Yeah, Oakski just getting a nice touch there, and Space Kangaroo pretty much a wide open net. Could go anywhere with that one, with Oakski's shot beating 2 defenders. Here's Aiden kind of getting a gift there and not really knowing how to handle it as Jorf goes for the flip reset. Aiden makes that save. Jorf somehow gets a touch on that to send it back towards the goal. That was impressive. Aiden getting that one under Jorf. So now at midfield, but there's Oakski sending one down off the opposing end, and Space Kangaroo just high of the crossbar. Brody and Brook trying to pinch one off Farah there. They get demoed as Aiden gets the shot, and it goes in. 3-2. Still anyone's game, Nate.
Yeah, great job by Aiden. Again, seeing the opportunity and making it happen. Right, that defensive hit might have been enough to put that ball in the net long range. 2:17 on the clock. Here's the kickoff. Farah and Jorf coming to a dead stop at midfield. Aiden bailing on the sidewall from Oakski, who's able to chip it out in front. Space Kangaroo, great read. What a play.
Yeah, Oakski with a great pass off the sidewall there, or off the ceiling to Space Kangaroo, who has one defender to beat, and they could either pass back to Oakski or take the shot. Kind of tough for the defender who's left there because you got to pick one. And unfortunately, they were unable to stop that one. So 4-2, just over 2 minutes to play. Aiden trying to send something up for a teammate who wasn't coming. Farah was staying back, trying to play defense. Jorf up, missing that one. A rare miss by Jorf as Brody tries to pass one up softly for Aiden. But Oakski and Space Kangaroo were there to quell that offensive chance. Here's Oakski now getting, again, another strange touch off the tire to get that into the mouth of the goal area. Jorf with a nice challenge, setting Oakski up off the back wall. And it's 5-2 for the Golden Bears.
The Golden Bears can put a lot of pressure on, and they sure are answering back quickly to these goals. So 90 seconds on the clock. There's enough time, but things are going to have to go the Panthers' way. They're going to need a heck of an effort here. Certainly with Oakski, Space Kangaroo, and Jorf just at the ready. Here's an opportunity. Brody and Brook, the shot ended up going wide, so the opportunities are there. Brody and Brook getting the demo on Jorf, taking Jorf out of the play. Aiden now, long range, goes up with the ball, setting themselves up, looking for the second touch. It's interrupted by Kangaroo. Jorf collecting in the corner. It's chipped all the way back down into the Panthers' end, and now let's see what happens here. Jorf goes up. If that goes in, I mean, it's believable when it's Jorf, but okay, here we are at midfield fighting for possession again.
Jorf off the sidewall, going for the musty flip. Nicely swept away there by Aiden. Space Kangaroo trying to keep this in the attacking zone. And Oakski with just incredible car control to put every ball towards the goal somehow, just the way they roll that vehicle. Farah and Brody out in front of the net, but Jorf gets the demo on Brody, takes it back for Oakski, but intercepted by Aiden. But there's Jorf being able to send that one back down, and Brody with the accidental touch scoring on themselves, not helping the cause. We got 20 seconds left with a 4-goal deficit. That might have been the dagger in this coffin.
Yeah, for sure. Great matchup, though, all the way. It's been such a great matchup. There's a bit of a goal deficit here at the end of this third game. But what a matchup it's been so far. If you're watching on YouTube right now, our next matchup is going to be the Panthers playing against the other Bears team, the Emerald Bears, so that'll be interesting to watch. Panthers going to take another crack at a Bears team as the clock runs out on this one, and that's 3 games for the Bears.
Yeah, great games by both teams there. Looking forward to seeing, we might have the Golden Bears playing the Emerald Bears for school dominance later on this year.
Does that happen? That'll be a great match to watch.
I'm hoping it does. I didn't look far enough ahead in the schedule, but I'm sure we have to have that game at some point.
Okay, well, here's what's going to happen in the meanwhile. We're going to get into the second match of the night, once again featuring the Panthers, this time against the Emerald Bears. Due to start in just a few minutes. Take a break, grab a drink, get yourself comfortable. Make sure to click that like and subscribe video here on the OSEA YouTube channel. And we'll be back with you in just a few minutes for our second matchup of the night, the Emerald Bears versus the Panthers. Thanks for hanging with us. We're back and ready for match number 2 as the players have taken the pitch. We are here for the kickoff. It is the Emerald Bears in blue and the Panthers, who you saw last match. So really close but different. It was the Golden Bears last time versus the Panthers, and now you've got the Emerald Bears in blue and Panthers once again in orange. Here's a shot chipped away by Wishes. First time we've seen the Emerald Bears play, Andy.
Yeah. Wish is getting that one down into the Panthers' corner. Aiden and Brody trying to chip this one out. A little bit of time as the Emerald Bears regather, looking for some boost. Here's Aiden, comes flying in, gets a nice little chip shot, just wide, no teammates with them. Farah tries to push one back towards the net, kind of brought away. Here's Surge, now going across the pitch, blocked there by Aiden. And up goes Wishes, trying to put something on, gets a high bounce. Wishes is up, but there's Aiden trying to get one over 2 defenders. And there's Intact pushing that one back into the opponent's territory. But Brody trying now to set something up for Aiden, who wisely turns away as Wishes clears that one out from in front of the net. Surge gets that bounce, but it goes to Brody, who runs out of boost and can't continue with that aerial. Here's Aiden trying to scoop this one up. Has a full tank. He's going to try and drive this one under the crossbar, but can't beat it. As Brody now tries to send something up, and that's wisely swept away by Intact.
Farah looking to drive another attack. Didn't work out, so now here's Surge. Couldn't make the connection in a midfield pass. We're back down in the Bears' end. Nothing happening here, kind of bouncing in front of the net. Here's Brody chipping off the back wall. Second player in is Aiden, who couldn't make the connection. As the Bears now are trying to push in. Here's Farah setting themselves up maybe. Shot goes wide into the corner. They're going to grab the boost, refill, and put something back in front of the net. Doesn't quite happen now as we're at midfield. Brody fighting for possession. A couple of the Bears now scooping in. Aiden's able to get away with it, but chipped away wide into the corner. A lot of attack here coming from the Panthers, and you got to wonder how that's going to affect the boost availability for the Bears.
Bears playing some pretty solid defense despite not having all that boost. Here's Aiden now trying to get something, but a nice block there by Surge. Farah trying to corral something off the sidewall. Leaves it as Brody goes up. Good block there by Surge. Brody trying to get a pass out to the team, but Intact, or sorry, it's Ellentract. We'll just call them Harry.
Yeah, Harry works.
Yeah, Harry sounds better. Here's Aiden trying to get a shot towards the net. Bounces off the sidewall. Farah not able to get there. So Wish is able to get this one down into the attacking zone. Gets a pass over to Harry, who tucks that one into the bottom right corner. And our first goal of the game comes over 3 minutes in, and the Emerald Bears take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, very patient. Like you said before, really well played defense. Patient, they were collected, able to weather the storm from the Panthers the first couple of minutes there somehow, and then eventually strike at the right time. Here's Wishes going up high. Then nothing happened. Aiden was able to get up there first and put a stop to it. Brody and Brooke sitting at the midfield, waiting to see what happens. Aiden looking to set something up. It's out in front. Here comes Farah, swing and a miss. Bounced away. Surge now, sending the ball into the Panthers' end. It's up high midfield. Wishes looking to collect and sort of passing Brody midair. Surge now in their own end. Chips away and just kind of ended up being a pass, didn't it?
Yeah, just an unfortunate touch off this back wall. Just a little too much of the roof. Didn't get that ball elevated, just kind of sent it down to an Aiden who was lying in wait. 1-1, just over a minute here in our first match, or sorry, first game of this match. Here's Brody trying to corral this one. Gonna take it up off the sidewall. Probably looking for a pinch shot here off the ground. Wishes comes in for a nice challenge. Able to stop that attack from the Panthers. Aiden now sending one into the corner. Zurge overplaying that one a little bit. Brody gets a shot out of it, but Zurge doesn't get credit for a save, but stops that one from going in the net. Aiden getting chased by Harry, kind of misses that ball into the corner. And Wishes takes on 2 defenders there in the midfield. Aiden gets a pinch off of Farah, but that one hits the crossbar, keeping this one a 1-1 game.
20 seconds left to break the tire. We're going to go to an overtime, and a couple players collide there as Zurge looking to clear this one away. Able to chip the ball over a defender. Not much happening afterwards. Brody stalling, leaving the ball for Aiden, who's gone up the side wall. It's blocked by Wishes, and we're thinking the Bears might get a chance here. Here down comes the ball. Brody able to chip it away. We're into overtime now. The kickoff between Wish and Brody. It goes off the sidewall back to midfield. Farah now fighting with Zurge. Everybody battling for possession here as Wishes with a long pass to themselves. Heads up. Not enough to get it over in front of the net. It's collected. Farah able to get things moving. Now Aiden's taken over at midfield. And challenged. Still battling for possession, Andy.
Harry wisely not driving that one, just trying to get back on defense as Brody comes in. Here's Zurge. Oh, a couple touches there that could have been dangerous. Could have gone either way. We're still in the midfield, kind of battling for possession. Aiden not able to come up with that one out of the corner. Nice touch there by Harry to get that attack stalled. Here's Aiden trying to corral in the back corner, but Zurge coming in. Aiden has to kind of dump the boost tank to get that around Surge. Here's Brody with no boost. Wishes very smartly just plays that off the wall. Zurge and Harry both go up for that one, which could leave an open goal. And what a save there by Harry to stop this one from being over. Aiden with the little chip. It looked like it was going to bounce out. And that's how this one's going to end. A nail-biter here in overtime. 2-1 for our Panthers team.
Yeah, what a close call that was. This match, in fact, handpicked by Rage Quit Andy. Isn't that right?
I believe so.
I think you said this would be a good one and we should watch it, and it looks like you're right. As the Panthers now getting a little bit of redemption against a different Bears team, but a really close match, and you know, that a little bit of an awkward finish there in front of the Emerald Bears net. I think that, you know, it was kind of bouncing in and out and sitting in a precarious spot. So I'm sure that match could have gone either way. We're going to see what we're in for as these teams play 2 more. It's just how it goes sometimes, Andy. I mean, that's sometimes the toughest position to be in, is when you're sitting in net, then the ball is rolling slowly and you've got to figure out how to reverse and get behind you into your net, around the ball, and then enough momentum to knock it out. It's like your mind's racing, your fingers are scrambling, and the ball slowly trickling over the line. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, or you just accidentally fat finger it and flip right into it, putting the goal in yourself, being deemed a traitor, your team criticizing you later in practice. Oh, am I just talking from experience? Yeah.
Hitting a little close to home for Rage Quit Andy. So this is game number 2. Players are taking the pitch. That last one going straight to overtime. As we kick off here, Emerald Bears in blue, Panthers in orange. Panthers taking the first match tonight, the first game, I should say. Here's, who have we got? Brody and Brooke looking to stop an attack. Aiden's chipped it to midfield. And Harry trying to get a quick shot in. A pass between Aiden. They couldn't get the pinch happening at midfield. It's a great little setup there. As now Zurge with a huge chip across the field. Lots of boost in the tank. Gets up nice and early for a read and almost able to get a deflection off the corner into the net. Harry now working the corner. Here's Aiden and Farah working together. Now we've got one of those situations again. Kind of bouncing around precariously. Brody's going to have to deal with this one. It's gone up high. It's enough time, though, for the Panthers to get back and scramble. Brody and just sort of kind of battling with Aiden there, trying to figure out how to get that ball forward. As the Emerald Bears send it all the way back. Farah now sitting midfield. There's a chance. It's sort of missed. Panthers regrouping. Aiden now on the attack, moving in. What's he going to do? What a great little roll. Heads to the side, though. And a couple of the Bears sort of trying to get on that defensive play. Ball up nice and high here. Here's Wish's long range. Kept the ball in play. And Harry ain't able to get there in time to make an attack out of it.
Yeah, I'll say the Emerald Bears team aren't like as flashy as some of the teams we've seen where they're up high flying, but their gameplay is sound. Like, just incredible team defense like that, keeping balls out of the net, and then turning those saves into counterattacks as Zurge just goes high on that one, but Farah not able to play it out. And here's Farah and Brody trying to work something now into the attacking zone. But Zurge able to clear that one away again. There's sound defense by this Emerald Bears team. Brody and Brooke not able to put that shot on as W. Aiden going for a fake. And here's Harry now with the shot towards the goal, just wide. Brody and Brooke trying to corral that one in their corner, but Zurge puts a shot on net. Saved by Farah, who gets demoed by Surge. And then Aiden getting a return demo. Here's Harry trying to challenge that one, not able to come away with the ball, but Wishes at midfield, able to go up. Gets a touch on that one with Zurge. They get the shot over, and the first goal of the game goes to the Emerald Bears.
Yeah, once again, and you're right. It's not as flashy. They don't see them on the ceiling as much, and yet very collected. They're patient. They play a strong defense game, and that's a whole different pace now for the Panthers to adapt to. Again, the last game went all the way to overtime. This is an interesting kickoff. Oh my goodness. What happened here, Andy?
That must have just been a miscommunication on who was going to go for that kickoff. As Wishes goes for that second boost, not able to get back to the ball. So it looked like between Harry and Zurge, they didn't decide who was going to go for that one. So unfortunately, 1-1. Great touch there by Zurge and Wishes to stop that shot. Harry there trying to go for a save, picks the high road, and Farah chooses the low road. It's a nice little bounce shot in. And just like that, it's 2-1 for the Panthers team.
2:11 on the clock. Emerald Bears now in a deficit. That happened quickly. Brody working over the line, bumps into Wishes at midfield. And Harry tries to get one over to Zurge. Doesn't quite work out. The ball went straight up. Great bump on Aiden, keeping Aiden from turning that into attack. What a weird pinch, though. Here, that might go in. And things happening quickly here. And the Bears now with a 2-goal deficit.
Just an unfortunate touch there off of the bottom of Harry's car, allowing that one to kind of just easily sail into the net as Wishes goes for that one, but Aiden's gonna, come to the rescue. Farah putting a shot on. I thought that was gonna go wide, but we've got a 4-1 game now.
Yeah, just enough time. Getting the demo, too. So 3 goals, more than enough time to get the job done. But what an incredible change of pace all of a sudden. Here's a chip. It's wide of the net. Wishes not sure how to deal with it. And we're seeing the Bears now scramble a little bit, I think, Andy.
Yeah, a little bump here between teammates, stopping Harry or Wishes to be able to get to that ball in time to make a save. And Farah makes no mistake putting that one in. 5-1 with just under 2 minutes here to play. Harry gets the better on that kickoff, but no team support there to go for a ball that was kind of floating in the dead center. Farah going for the soft touch that just floats under the crossbar. And we're at 6-1.
I don't know if Harry was out of boost here. Doesn't look like it. Harry with a full tank. And ball kind of floated right over there. Would have had to have jumped quick, but yeah, those were little slow floaters just chipping over the defense. So Zurge now. Looks like we're seeing the Panthers sort of sit back and play defensive. I believe the
the
Mercy
5-goal.
Is it 5? Okay, it is 5.
I think it's
yeah,
if you
that's
have a
right.
5-goal lead, you are to kind of just play defensively.
Well, good
You're
luck
not
getting
to
good luck getting one in
against
here.
3 goalies.
Yeah.
Might even just be a score manipulation tactic here by the Panthers. Zurge now hopefully waiting for some teammates because they're going to need to do some nifty passing plays to defeat that iron wall and goal. They've got plenty of time here to get one. They just got to work together as a team.
Yeah, I mean,
Farah now. Sorry.
no, sorry. I was gonna say there's the goal demo that I was waiting to see. Right, I was expecting to see a demo of 1 or 2 of the defenders possibly. Nothing wrong with that. 26 seconds left on the clock. The Bears are going to have to shake this one and start fresh in the third game between these two teams. 15 seconds left. We know this one is definitely going to be a win for the Panthers.
And Wish is trying to get something over to Zurge with a few seconds ticking down, but swept away by Farah as Harry now with the last second desperation swept away by Aiden. And that's how this one's going to end 6-1 for our Panthers team, who take the second game of this 3-game series.
That fell apart quickly. I mean, it was starting to look like the first match. I think it was, we were 2 minutes in or 2 and change before the first goal happened, and it was for the Bears. And all of a sudden, I think something woke up for the Panthers, and they just started hammering away. The first 2 were kind of incidental, kind of a funny bounce, funny roll, and then again, it just 2 went to 4, which turned into 6. And those goals just, the deficit got too much. So here we go. The Bears will get a second chance here. A little bit of a redemption for the Panthers, who lost to the Golden Bears in the last matchup. It's the third game between these two teams. And we've got another series coming up after this. So as the players take the pitch, clock is reset, scorecard's reset. Kickoff now as Wish is able to win that one. Wish in the corner now, able to get one bouncing off the corner towards the net. It's tipped away by Farah, and Brody doubling down on that defensive play. Zurge trying to keep the ball in attack and fighting with Brody at midfield. Both teams now looking for possession. Here's Aiden, lots of boost, able to get one off the back wall. No second touch and no teammate. As it looks like it was maybe Farah who was, oh no, not Farah, but Brody, a little late to the party. Farah's shot goes wide. As Harry trying to send things down into the Panthers' net. Wish with a shot on, it's blocked by Farah. Chipping away, dead center, here's an opportunity. On net, it's in. Almost saved.
Yeah, by his teammates, as Brody and Brooke here going for the ball as well as Farah. Maybe trying to make sure that they get the first goal this game. Here we go with our next kickoff. We got Wishes and Farah. Farah getting the better of that one. Gonna take a shot right off the kickoff. Hits the crossbar. And Aiden taking a shot, just missing wide. And now that leaves Zurge and Wishes for a nice passing play. But somewhere or somehow Farah comes out of nowhere, makes the incredible save. So Farah comes down with another shot back onto the Emerald Bears end. And that's going to be saved by Henry. Wishes with the wonderful touch off the pass from Zurge. And we've got a 1-1 game.
I love Wish's goal explosion, too. Yeah, it was a great setup there, I think from Harry. And Wish is just able to connect and get that thing down into the net. It's a wonderful play. And we were talking about, not seeing the Bears up on the ceiling too much, but they just proved us wrong there. Here's Brody now, looking to head in for another attack. Stopped at midfield by Wishes, who leaves one for Harry. I believe so. Zurge, I'm sorry, it was Zurge. Wishes from far out. Can it make it? It does.
What a read by Wishes off this missed touch by Aiden on the sidewall. And a long goal. They say the best defense is a good offense. And putting shots on net is never a bad thing. So they've got a 2-1 lead with 3.5 to play. Aiden goes for the direct shot. That's swept away. Here's Wishes getting a save on a Brody and Brooke shot. Aiden from all the way across the map. Runs out of boost, so not able to keep the pressure up. Zurge and Harry kind of colliding in net, but it gets a nice pinch back down into the attacking zone. Zurge trying to keep the pressure on. It's over top of Brody and Brook. Wish is not able to get a shot over Aiden. Here's Harry, who just wisely sends it back down. Circles back to get some boost to let some teammates go and attack. Brody and Brook just chipping that one over Harry. Didn't jump in time. And now we've got a tied game at 2.
Yeah, that's all. Well, almost maybe maybe a fat finger moment too, right? Just one of those weird hops that I think we've all done before. No angle to the card. Chip here into the corner as Brody sends it back out. Everybody's a little bit too far in to collect that, so we're at midfield. Great setup for Wishes. It goes wide. Almost chipped in by one of the defenders as Aiden clears all the way down into the Bears, and it's a 2-2 game as we hit the halfway mark on the clock.
Wow, what a save there by Wishes. Right off the crossbar. That was earmarked a goal. And a little bump there by Brody on W8, and Harry's going to get credit for this goal from half court. And they've got a lead here.
Like you said, you know, any time's a good time to put that ball on the opponent's net, even in midfield or even back in your own end. Sometimes it might just roll and find its way in. Up on the side wall, here goes Aiden. Farah at midfield watching to see what happens. Enough boost in the tank, he's going to leave it, and what a great read by Brody and Brook, tying the game up at 3.
Timely demo here. Just the right time to get a demo is after the shot comes through. Because that means a defender is out of position to be able to get that ball. Tying this game at 3. We've got ourselves a nail biter. So Zurge going up, gets just enough of that, but it hits a Farah right on the hood, which may have been a saving grace as the third teammate not able to get a touch on the goal line. Here's Brody now trying to just send this one back into the attacking zone. Good touch there by Zurge to block the shot from going ahead. Here's Aiden now trying to get a touch of it. Gets a bump instead. Brody gets kind of a high lofted shot. Gets down in front of the goal, swept away by Wishes. Zurge not able to get a touch on that one, but Wishes able to get just a piece of it so that it just kind of floats. No danger. Here's Harry going up, trying to get a pass over to a teammate. Nobody's coming, but Wishes wisely stays in net, gets a save. Zurge just trying to keep this away from a direct shot, and they've got it past midfield, back down into the attacking zone. Gets a beautiful touch over towards Wishes, doesn't drive as there's 2 defenders. Farah now having to corral out of the corner. And Brody and Aiden again kind of bumping into each other, stalling that attack.
Aiden on the side wall. Around the corner, there's an opportunity. It's stopped. Harry loses control. Wish is going to have to take over. Now Wish is up the side wall, coming down. Could slam another one. Had a teammate in pursuit. No connection made. Everybody scrambling for possession here as the clock winds down. 30 seconds or so left. This is a tie game final match between these two, so a little bit of bragging rights here. Both teams looking to end on the high note. Ball slowly floating in front of the Bears net. It's chipped in by Aiden.
Oh.
What a play.
Zurge actually getting an unfortunate touch here to send this one back into his own goal. Almost a beautiful pinch off the wall to send this one away. Well, they've got 27 seconds left to tie it back up. We've seen them do it already in this game, so it's not out of the question. There's the ever-dependable Harry in net, getting a shot towards the goal. Aiden making that save. Harry gets another little stop, floats it for a teammate. Nobody comes around, but they circle back and now have the ball towards midfield where Zurge gets it into the attacking zone. But Aiden stops that, is up. He's going to try and take a bounce off the back wall. Farah not able to put the shot up, and that ball's going to touch. And that's how this game's going to end, 4-3. Great third match. The the Emerald Bears kind of figuring it out in the third one, making this one real close. Almost winning that one.
That was a great
And that's
matchup. 100%.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch.
Good call on that one, Andy. All right, anyone who's watching, we just need to take a quick standby. We're going to jump into the next match. It's supposed to be starting any second now, so we don't want to keep you waiting too long. And this should be another really close one. The two teams facing off next. In blue, you'll have the Bay Ridge Blazers 1 versus the OCVI Redhawks 1. So we're taking a standby. We're going to jump into that match. We'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Hopefully we won't miss any of it. Thanks for being with us. Make sure to click like and subscribe on the OSEA YouTube channel so you don't miss future broadcasts like next week when we're going to have more Rocket League. We'll be right back. All right, match number 3. Welcome to Champions Field. Players taking the field. We're jumping right into it as the kickoff starts right now. Bay Ridge Blazers in blue, OCVI Redhawks in orange. We know both of these teams. We've seen them the last couple of seasons here. A couple of strong teams. There's Judd Necro and that dead weight for the OCVI Redhawks as the ball is in the Bay Ridge Blazers end. G chipping it all the way back and almost into the net. What a save.
Wow. This game starts off with a bang. Save. There's another one. Judd getting that save. Lots of pressure by the Bay Ridge Blazers, but even better defense by our Redhawks team. G trying to get that one swept away by dead weight. Here's Choppa trying to put it back out front. But Judd and Necro coming together to take that away. Happy Cappy now sending something out front for a teammate. Choppa just arriving a second too late. Not able to get enough on that shot. Deadweight can't get it around G. So Necro's going to have to bump that one to midfield from the mouth of the goal. Here's Necro trying to put a shot on just wide as Happy Cappy's there in time. Judd can't find Necro with the pass. Necro in the corner kind of stops that with a corner pinch. Able to keep control. Real nice. Judd now trying to get a pass out, but G wisely takes that to the corner. Here's Dead Weight now trying to get a pass over to a teammate as Necro gets a wonderful body roll and puts that one in as a beautiful little ground bounce to the left corner. And it's 1-0 for our Redhawks team.
That's a really tough shot to read as the defender. Necro coming down from above and somehow bouncing it off the ground and in. Just a beautiful shot. There's Choppa sending one off the back wall, and a follow-up from Choppa. Didn't quite make it happen. Happy Cappy getting the dead weight with a demo. So we're seeing a couple demos here. Very fast-paced match so far between these two. This one's up off the ceiling. Necro not going to bother reading that. Boost tank's empty. So Cappy bouncing one in. Almost in, too. Dead weight up, able to make the save. And Dead weight now fighting with two of the Blazers, trying to get out of their own net. G hitting one back in off the sidewall. G with their own follow-up. Great play.
Wow, wonderful control here from the corner with is G. Passing to themselves. Perfect shot inside the post. Ties this at 1. I think this is going to be an exciting match here, Nate, as they go for the next kickoff. Necro and G getting a really good hit off of that kickoff, like pinching off the defender. And that might be the easiest way either of these two teams are going to score a goal in this match.
They should just do that every time. Kickoff now, 2:45 on the clock. 2 points for the Bay Ridge Blazers. OCVI Redhawks looking to tie things up. Here's G off the side wall, maybe getting a third. And no connection there as Deadweight kind of cruises by. Choppa a bit late to the party. G with a great shot. That's the third one there.
Really good awareness there by G, seeing that no defender is able to get to that goal as Deadweight kind of circled out. We've got ourselves a 3-1 game pretty early on in this match, honestly. Still 2.5 minutes. Anyone's game with either of these two teams. Happy Cappy getting the better of that kickoff, but Dead Weight playing in the midfield, keeping that ball in no man's land. Necro now trying to get a bounce pass over to Dead Weight, but G's there to stop it. G looking to leave it for Happy Cappy, who turns away. So G's going to bring this up to midfield and now play it. Look for a pass over to Choppa. Intercepted by Judd, who sends that back into the corner. Happy Cappy able to get just enough of it over top of Judd. And now G going to bring this into a corner. Unfortunately, 2 defenders spawned, so that attack gets stopped. Necro tried to get a touch up. Deadweight decides to turn around as Judd comes in. And G able to get that one over top of some defenders. Unfortunately, the ball doesn't go too far as it sits around midfield. Necro with the nice little half flip backwards to put that into the attacking zone. Here's Deadweight looking for a pinch pass over to Judd, who just can't get enough of that shot as G was bearing down on them.
Yeah, great mechanics from Necro back there. Necro again in the corner. Getting one out in front. Is anyone there? No. G's there. Clearing it back into the corner. Judd keeping the play alive. Happy Cappy up quickly. Couldn't quite get it out, so G's going to follow up. Great little chop to get it past the midfield line as Dead Weight tries to stop the attack. Another incredible shot from G. 4-1.
Yeah, G just reading this this shot as Necro and Judd are just not able to get in position to make a save there. They both picked an angle, and G just chose the other side. Here's Necro now trying to corral that one at midfield. As Judd now plays a soft touch for Dead Weight, who can't get that one around G. Or sorry, Happy Cappy. Now G trying to set something out in front of the net for a teammate who isn't there. So Dead Weight able to get that one towards the midfield Necro not able to get the touch on it, so G's going to send it back off the crossbar. Tries to go for the double tap under. Now Choppa not able to get that ball off the back wall. So Happy Cappy gets it down into the attacking zone. Happy Cappy leaves that one for G to go up as it glances off the crossbar from Necro's shot. Here's Deadweight up, trying to chip over some defense. Judd just not able to get it. Deadweight tries to play the shot off Choppa, who maybe fakes it. So Deadweight doesn't get the shot they were looking for. Here's Judd now, trying to keep this ball alive. Just going to pass it back and end this game, excuse me. And that's how it's going to end. 4-1 for our Bay Ridge Blazers team.
Yeah, what an incredible play there. Happy Cappy kind of a little less prominent in that match than we're used to seeing. There was a lot of G there, or Grant, as I remember from the rosters. What a clinic Grant put on, more than doubling the next player's points. Deadweight with 324 points. G coming out with 711, 4 goals, 6 shots. So that's the player to watch in this match, or the player to demo if you're on the Redhawks team.
Yeah, I'd be looking for demos all day long, just trying to see what the strategy could be to counteract the shots that G's been able to put up. About ready to take the kickoff for our second game of this third match tonight. Just a reminder, we'll be back here next week, 6 o'clock on the OSEA Esports channel, bringing you more Rocket League from the spring season. An exciting week 3 as G gets that shot blocked by Deadweight. As Deadweight now is up, leaves it for Necro, who's trying to bring this one off under the crossbar, but Happy Cappy's going to sweep that aside. Judd missing that second touch. Choppa and Necro both missing. G trying to come up with it. Uncharacteristic whiffs here by both teams as that ball just kind of floats around in the middle of the field. Choppa now sending this one down. Deadweight gets a good touch on it. Choppa not able to get the touch they were looking for, so Necro now able to bring this one down, trying to pass it over to Deadweight, but Happy Cappy's going to get just enough of that to stop that attack.
Yeah, as you see all too often, both teams have turned up in round number 2. The pacing immediately increased. Here's Deadweight chipping over Choppa. G's at midfield, keeps the play alive. Bouncing up, we're going to see Judd go up and try to clear over the midline. You have to fight with Happy Cappy, and it didn't work out. So now we're still trying to get out of the Red Hawks zone is Necro. Almost able to wiggle past Happy Cappy. It didn't work out. Ball is up high as Judd battles with Happy Cappy for possession. Still in the Red Hawks zone. Deadweight now. Getting it out to center field. Here's Happy Cappy with a long shot. It's going to hit the ceiling and bottom out, so Judd's able to put a stop to that. Judd looking to turn it into an attack. That didn't work out. Necro off the sidewall turned into a shot, but it was chipped away quickly by Happy Cappy as Choppa collects in their own corner.
Oh, great challenge there by Necro on top of Choppa, who it turns into a shot, and G has to make a save. Deadweight gets a great bounce there off the Choppa mishandle off the crossbar, and kind of gets a gift over top of G here, who just can't get up in time for that ball. And the Redhawks take a 1-0 lead 2 minutes into this game.
G attempting the famous 1%er backflipping in their own net, trying to flip the ball out. It's the only move you've got, and it works out about 1% of the time, but I love to see it. And as the OCVI Redhawks are collecting in their own end now, heading back over midfield is Deadweight. Necro collecting the pass. What a stop by Happy Cappy. Deadweight ready with the second shot. It's cleared away by Choppa. Still left in as Necro floating at the midline with Judd. So Judd sent it back. Necro's up. What a shot. Choppa couldn't get to it in time. Beautiful play.
Wow. What a corral and pass here by Judd. Just absolutely perfect. Nothing that the Bay Ridge Blazers are going to be able to do. Choppa and G just not enough boost to get there in time. And that's going to be 2-0 for the Redhawks. Not going down without a fight. All of these points are worth fighting for. So here's dead weight now from midfield. Going to go underneath Happy Cappy. Gets a demo on G, but Choppa there to get a bump and steer that one aside. Happy Cappy follows it up with a shot that Necro can save, but Choppa comes through and puts that one in to cut the deficit to 1. With just over 2 minutes, this game is far from over, Nate.
Yeah, just popped up. You know, the defensive player was coming out of the net. Not sure who was in net, but then the ball popped up out of that position as we watched them cruise by the camera. 1 goal deficit here. Here's Necro digging out of their own net. They're going to leave it for that dead weight, who's gotten past the midline, through the corner, around one defender, a bounce off the sidewall for Necro. Choppa sends it straight up, and Happy Cappy with a good read gets up in time to help out. Now G and Happy Cappy have turned things around right out in front for Choppa. Great defensive and offensive play. Tie game.
Unbelievable patience there by G to not go for that ball and let Happy Cappy fully play that one up so G can get in position to make a pass out front. Wow, and just like that, 2-2 game. Here's dead weight now, trying to get something out to themselves, but Choppa comes flying across the goal to sweep that away. Judd gonna stop the counterattack at midfield as G gets a shot chipped up by Necro out of harm's way. Dead weight now sending this back into the Blazers' end as Judd puts a shot on net, can't beat Happy Cappy. Necro now with another chip towards the goal, corralled by G, who kind of puts a shot towards the net. Dead weight gonna put a shot to the goal, mishandled by Choppa. And it's now 3-2. Oh, sorry, Happy Cappy, not Choppa.
Yeah, I didn't
Mishandles that one, trying to get it to bounce above the goal to the teammates on the other side. And 3-2 for the Redhawks.
Yeah, if Cappy had found the corner of the front of the car, it would have looked a lot different. Could have headed all the way down and turned into an offensive play. So here's Choppa keeping that connection from happening. So Deadweight's got to regroup. Judd up in the air missing. Here's Necro keeping the play alive. Necro with a pass out front. No players left to collect that as they're all out filling their boost tanks again. G working the corner. Gonna have to fight against that Deadweight who brings things back around. Choppa able to kind of keep that thing from moving forward. Here's Choppa again at the midfield line looking for an attack. Stopped by Necro, who's now looking to set a player up. Happy Cappy got in the middle. Happy Cappy with a second block there. Great mechanics.
Happy Cappy not able to get up in time there as Necro sends the ball into the attacking zone. Necro's going to swing around from midfield and put a shot up. Blocked by Happy Cappy. Here's Judd just missing. Unfortunately, no boost left by Necro, so they're not able to turn around and keep the attack going as Choppa sends it into the Redhawks end. Here's Deadweight. Can't get there before G does, who sends it down, but Judd just trying to keep it into the Bay Ridge end. We got a few seconds left. As soon as this ball touches the ground, that's going to be the game as the OCVI Redhawks change strategies and come out with the win in the third and final game.
Second game.
What? Well, that was the second game?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, 1-1. I can't wait for the third one. I was honestly upset that we weren't going to see another game, and now we got that.
Thinking of last week, I was wondering if you were doing the math, so I thought of it myself as we were going. Yeah, one more game to go, and another nail-biter. I mean, certainly the pacing increased dramatically in that last match, so 3-2 finish. Pretty close. I'm still hoping for that 20-minute overtime.
I'm just hoping both teams have fun. All right, that didn't land. Okay, here we are. Teams taking the field, ready for the third and final game. I was counting there. Here we got G taking on Necro. G getting the better of that one, but Deadweight getting a nice little touch, keeping the ball at midfield. Choppa comes through, gets a chip over Deadweight, but Judd getting enough of that to keep it out of the end. Sorry, out of their goal. Deadweight now trying to get some boost. Leaves it for Necro, who has more boost, so good decision by them. Choppa and G both kind of coming down. G just takes the accidental bump off from Judd here. Tucks it into the wide open net as no defenders are back yet. Possible miscue there. And that's going to be 1-0 for the Bay Ridge Blazers.
I think Judd was expecting that thing to sort of come to a dead stop, and it just got away from them. Here's Happy Cappy midfield, swing and a miss. Choppa's going to have to collect. Dead Weight getting in the middle, so here's a setup from Dead Weight. Couldn't get by G as we're heading back over the midline. Not quite. G now at midfield. Shot almost got on. Dead Weight was able to stop it in time. A weird bounce in the pocket. Gets the ball out in front of the Bay Ridge Blazers end. Dead Weight with his second follow-up shot. What a save by G. Chop off the back wall. Chipping out front. That's almost a setup, but Necro couldn't put it on target. Necro collecting. Took the pass away from Dead Weight. So now that Dead Weight's up in the corner. Losing possession. Ball chipped out and high as Necro puts a shot just wide. Not on target. G couldn't dig it out, so the attack is still active as Necro heading up the side wall. Looking at the boost tanks. Lots for the Red Hawks. None for the Bay Ridge Blazers as this one came on from Necro.
Oh my goodness. Watch what Necro does here. Down and then flicks it to keep it going down as G, thinking the ball's going to go up with just the positioning of Necro's car. Wow. Impressive goal. Incredible positioning. Oh, this is an exciting third and final match here. It's for all the marbles to win this match. Got Happy Cappy now trying to just send this one down, kind of regroup as Choppa chases down. Two defenders go for that one, Dead Weight and Judd. Looks like no harm, no foul as Necro misses that one. Judd getting a piece of it, but sending it all the way across to Dead Weight, who can beat Choppa, or sorry, Happy Cappy to that one. Choppa going to clear that one away off the Judd shot out front. Now Judd just going to boom this one back down to midfield. Nobody continuing on, probably looking for boost. Here's Necro sweeping that Happy Cappy shot away. G trying to pass over to Choppa, who wasn't quite there yet. Running low on boost. They just pop it up. Here's G. There's about 20 left in the tank. Trying to just put a little pressure on, get something to pop out for Happy Cappy, but Dead Weight's just going to keep pressing that one on. We're at midfield. They pass it up over to Necro, who's looking to get a pass out to that Dead Weight, who bounce shots and gets a goal. 2-1 for the Red Hawks.
A great job by the Red Hawks. They were getting pushed around by G in their own net, and all of a sudden a play developed they were ready for. Halfway through this matchup, this is the tiebreaker of the series. Kickoff now, G and Judd coming to a dead stop. Happy Cappy couldn't follow up, so it's Judd now trying to push forward. That Dead Weight getting a setup on target. G's able to flick it all the way back into the Red Hawks end, and a follow-up from G. Beautiful play. Dangerous is G.
Yeah, kind of not much the defenders, Necro and Judd, are going to be able to do here. They've got the backs of their cars facing G. Essentially, G could put that ball anywhere. Defenders just have to guess, and, well, G beat them on that one. So 2-2, Dead Weight getting a good piece of that one, but Happy Cappy, right place, able to get most of that one. Judd able to get up and get a piece at midfield to kind of stall any sort of attack, but G hitting the ground shots from back behind midfield, beating all the defenders. And just like that, they've got their 1-goal lead back.
2 minutes on the clock. Lots of time left for this one to go either way. Kickoff heads back a little bit towards the Bay Ridge Blazers end, but G collects it. Looking for their third goal in this game. Choppa's up high. Dead Weight able to keep the ball away. Plays alive. Oh, a funny bounce back towards the OCVI Red Hawks net, and that's all the space that Happy Cappy needed.
Yeah, super unfortunate double touch there by Judd. Just can't get that ball out of harm's way. If that hits, you know, maybe an inch farther towards the top of their car, it bounces right out into the corner. No shot on goal can happen. Just unfortunate the way some of the bounces work here. Necro getting a pass over to Dead Weight, who leaves it for a second, trying to beat G, but can't get enough on that shot. So swept downfield. Here's Judd now just overshooting that one, trying to get a pinch at the midfield. Here's Necro. Gets a good touch on that, pops it up into the midfield area as Dead Weight now trying to get a touch on that. Maybe pass down to Necro. They both miss, so that attack is thwarted. Choppa getting demoed by Dead Weight. Necro gonna get a nice piece of that. Maybe not enough power on it to really put that in, but swept away by Happy Cappy. Here's Dead Weight looking for a shot, but G's gonna stand their ground. Necro now from the sidewall trying to get a pass down to Dead Weight, who they do get the touch, but they just can't get that one to go towards the net. Great pressure here from the Redhawks, as now Happy Cappy sends this one down. Maybe just trying to get a little reprieve of the pressure that the Redhawks have been throwing their way.
Good save by Dead Weight. Had to happen. 30 seconds left. They need a quick one if there's any hope to catch this thing up and head to overtime. Happy Cappy with a great setup. Choppa just missing. G playing the third position, keeping things safe. Choppa flipping ball away from Necro here, who's managed to collect it again, get it down in front. Not really a good setup for Judd to work with. Dead Weight now chipping one off. They are out of time, I think, anyways. Okay, I said it.
We've seen a goal scored in 3 seconds tonight already, so there is a chance. Necro, great read off the sidewall.
The caster curse.
Gets that one in. I think this is a curse you'd be okay with having, because that will be our third overtime of the night.
I'd love it. 20-minute overtime. Let's
Here's
go.
Judd and G going up. As long as they can keep this one off the ground and get a shot on net, there's a potential that we're going to a Game 3 overtime. Oh, and Dead Weight just not able to get to that one. That's how this is going to end. 4-3 for the Bay Ridge Blazers as they take take 2 of the 3 games in this series. And what a match it was. Thank you to all the players, the coaches, OSEA for having us. And I'll leave it for you, Nate.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it was a really good week again. This is week number 2. We've got 3 more weeks. Every Wednesday, you can find us here on YouTube, on the OSEA YouTube channel. We start at 6 p.m. You'll see 3 matches of 3 games apiece. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a future broadcast from the OSEA. And join us next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. for more Rocket League as we'll head into week 3. I'm Nate Goes Live. Rage Quit Andy joined me tonight casting in the broadcast booth. It's been a slice. See you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.